Welcome to a profound journey through one of the most foundational books of the Bible, Exodus. This sacred text unveils the miraculous story of God's deliverance of His people, Israel, from slavery in Egypt. It is a narrative rich with divine power, unwavering faithfulness, and the establishment of a covenant that shaped a nation. Exodus is more than just history. It is a testament to God's character and His enduring love for humanity. It reveals His plan to redeem, guide, and dwell among His chosen people. Let us explore the pivotal moments that define this incredible book. The story begins with Israel groaning under the harsh oppression of Pharaoh in Egypt. Fearing their growing numbers, Pharaoh decreed that every Hebrew male infant be cast into the Nile River. In defiance of this cruel order, a mother placed her baby son Moses in a basket and set him afloat on the river. Miraculously, Pharaoh's own daughter discovered the child and raised him as her own. Moses grew up in the royal palace, yet God had a far greater purpose for his life. One day, while tending sheep in the wilderness, Moses encountered God in a burning bush that was not consumed. From this holy ground, God called Moses to a monumental task, to lead his people out of bondage. Despite Moses' initial reluctance and feelings of inadequacy, God promised to be with him. This divine encounter marked the beginning of Israel's path to freedom. Moses, accompanied by his brother Aaron, confronted Pharaoh with God's command to let his people go. Pharaoh, hardened in his heart, refused to release the Israelites. In response, God unleashed a series of 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt, each demonstrating his supreme power over all creation and the false gods of Egypt. From water turning to blood, to swarms of frogs, gnats, and flies, each plague intensified Pharaoh's suffering. Livestock perished, boils afflicted the people, and hail rained down. Locusts devoured every green thing, and a thick darkness enveloped the land for 3 days. With each plague, God showed his sovereignty and Pharaoh's powerlessness. Yet, Pharaoh remained defiant, setting the stage for the final, most terrifying judgment. These plagues were not merely acts of destruction, but powerful signs of God's justice and his unwavering commitment to his covenant promises. The 10th and final plague was the most severe, the death of every firstborn son in Egypt. Before this devastating judgment, God instructed the Israelites to prepare for a special night. Each family was to sacrifice a lamb, smear its blood on their doorposts, and eat a meal of roasted lamb, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs. God promised that when he saw the blood on the doorposts, he would pass over their homes, sparing their firstborn. This night became known as the Passover, a perpetual memorial of God's miraculous deliverance. It was a night of both judgment for Egypt and salvation for Israel. As the angel of death swept through Egypt, a great cry arose from every Egyptian household. Pharaoh, finally broken, commanded Moses and the Israelites to leave immediately. After centuries of slavery, God's people were at last set free, marching out of Egypt with great haste and the spoils of their former masters. No sooner had the Israelites departed than Pharaoh, regretting his decision, gathered his chariots and army to pursue them. The Israelites found themselves trapped between Pharaoh's advancing forces and the vast Red Sea. Fear and despair gripped the people, but Moses encouraged them to stand firm and witness God's salvation. At God's command, Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. A mighty east wind blew all night, parting the waters and creating a dry path through the sea. The Israelites walked across on dry ground, with walls of water on either side. It was an awe-inspiring display of divine power. As the last Israelite reached the other side, Pharaoh's army, in hot pursuit, entered the seabed. Then, God commanded Moses to stretch out his hand again, and the waters returned, engulfing Pharaoh and his entire army. The Red Sea became a tomb for their oppressors and a monument to God's ultimate victory. After their miraculous escape, God led the Israelites to Mount Sinai, a majestic and awe-inspiring mountain. Here, God descended in a cloud, with thunder, lightning, and the sound of a trumpet, revealing his holy presence to the entire nation. It was a moment of profound reverence and fear. At Sinai, God formally established his covenant with Israel, declaring them his treasured possession, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. He then gave them the 10 Commandments, foundational laws for righteous living, and their relationship with Him and with one another. These commandments were inscribed on tablets of stone by the very finger of God. Beyond the 10 Commandments, God provided a comprehensive body of laws and statutes, covering every aspect of their lives. These laws were not burdensome, but were given to guide them in holiness, justice, and worship, setting them apart as God's chosen people. While at Sinai, God also gave Moses detailed instructions for building a sacred dwelling place, the Tabernacle. This portable sanctuary was to be a place where God's presence would reside among His people as they journeyed. Every detail, from its dimensions to its materials and furnishings, was meticulously specified by God. The tabernacle was a masterpiece of divine design, filled with symbolic meaning. It included the Ark of the Covenant, representing God's presence and His covenant with Israel, and various altars and vessels for worship and sacrifice. The people responded with willing hearts, contributing generously to its construction. Once completed, the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle, signifying God's acceptance and His commitment to dwell with His people. This sacred space served as the center of Israel's worship and a constant reminder of God's intimate presence in their midst. The book of Exodus concludes with the tabernacle fully constructed and consecrated, and God's glory filling it. This signifies the fulfillment of God's promise to dwell among His people. The journey from slavery to freedom, from oppression to covenant, was complete. Exodus is a powerful narrative of redemption, revealing God as a deliverer, a lawgiver, and a faithful covenant keeper. It teaches us about His holiness, His justice, and His boundless mercy. The themes of liberation, divine guidance, and the establishment of a relationship with God resonate throughout history. The story of Exodus reminds us that God hears the cries of His people, acts decisively on their behalf, and desires to lead them into a life of freedom and purpose. It is a timeless testament to His power and His unwavering love for all generations. If you enjoyed this summary, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring Bible summaries.